Hey, welcome back to Canard Boulevard. My name is Scott. Today we are going to take a trip up to Sauble Beach in Ontario for the weekend. This is an impromptu trip. We'll talk about how we got here and why. I had absolutely nothing planned for this weekend. I thought, well, it is going to be nice weather. Maybe I'll just go up and fly around and sightsee a little bit. I don't really have much else in the plans. Then I thought, well, my family has cottages up in Sauble Beach on Lake Huron. I bet they're up there this weekend. Let me give them a call and see if they're around, and maybe I'll just drop in and see them. So I did, and they were. And here we go. We're taking off out of Medina, runway 9, a nice VFR day, nice weather the entire way. I did have a couple small problems. One was that my audio recorder for this flight didn't record audio. The jack wasn't in all the way, so unfortunately I got no intercom or radio audio for this leg of the flight, but that's okay. You've seen it before. You know what happens here. I rotate off at about 75 knots and bring the gear up, and then we're going to start climbing out. Once I get up to around 600 feet of altitude, I'm going to start my turn away, and once I'm out of the pattern area and have called that I'm leaving the pattern area, I call up Cleveland Approach and get flight following. Now I'm going to have flight following because I am crossing the border here, so I do have to have my flight plan filed, which I opened on the ground using my iPad, using Garmin Pilot. So I did that before we took off, and I will have my squawk code from Cleveland Approach, which allows me to cross the border with that special VFR flight plan that has been opened up with the EAPIS. And if you've not seen the video I did on traveling and flying back and forth between Canada and the US, I'll put a link to it up here that you can see. It details all the procedures you have to go through. I'm not going to go over them here again. So I fly out over the Cleveland area, and once I get up out to Sandusky, I turn north and go across Lake Erie. And the reason I do that is because, as you see, there's a whole series of islands there, and each of these islands has an airport on it. So no matter what, I'm within gliding distance of an airport as I cross the lake, which is really convenient. As you can see, I'm now climbing up, and I'm at 8,500 feet. The visibility is pretty good, but as soon as I get up near to Lake Huron, you'll see the visibility goes way down. We get this haze that comes in off the lake there, and this is something I've noticed several times now, that when I get to the south end of Lake Huron, that haze kind of just comes in, and you can see as I'm starting my descent here, the visibility is not great. It's probably only about 5, maybe 6 miles at this point from this altitude. So I am talking to the Canadian controllers, but at this point they lose me, so they terminate me. And that's actually pretty common, that when I get to about this point on the flight, they lose me on radar and they terminate me, and I'm on my own, which is fine because I'm already in Canada at that point, so it's not a real problem. So remember I said I had some problems, plural? Well, here's the second one. My camera cut off, and I did not get the landing going into Wyerton. I did get to see Cedar Point. I like seeing the roller coasters as I fly over top. That's always a great thing to see. And then I got to the beach. The next morning, went for a walk on the beach, saw a bunch of seagulls sitting out there, got some exercise, saw a ton of monarch butterflies on the beach. I don't know what was up with the monarch butterflies, but then spent some time on the beach, look at the airplanes flying over, got to spend some time with my family. It was just a really nice, quiet time. The sunsets there are spectacular. The sky is so dark, you can see millions upon millions of stars. This beautiful area I've been coming to every summer for 30 years, 40 years. I think it's probably close to 40 years. It's relatively the same. This path has widened a bit. It's no longer a hiking path. It's more of an ATV path that people bring their ATVs down to the beach. But I walked this late last night, lit only by moonlight. It's just so beautiful and calm here. It's really an unspoiled paradise, and I'm really fortunate to be able to come here and spend time here. There will come a day when I am not able to come here anymore, and I will be very sad when that happens. But for now, I'm going to keep up flying up here, seeing my family, spending time in this beautiful area of Ontario. The next morning, I went for another walk, and there was a whole flock of about 50 Canada geese all having a bath in the lake. It was just amazing to see these guys. They were literally washing themselves and then drying off, and there was so many of them doing exactly this. It was fascinating to see them. I sat there for about 10 minutes watching this. And then just went back, relaxed, watched some bumblebees doing their things, and before I headed to the airport, made sure I picked up some Canadian butter tarts. I love butter tarts.
Martin Drive Experimental Cozy, November 797 Delta Lima departing 05 Wyerton.
I recently adjusted the side tones on my radios so that the transmissions will be the same volume as the receptions on my videos.
Alright, everything's in the green. Brake release.
And you'll notice that I am angling across the runway a little bit just because there is a little bit of a crosswind.
Speeds alive at 50 knots. And 60. 65 and 70. And gear up.
And because my family was on the ground watching me take off, I did a little wave to them here.
Terrain ahead. Pull up.
I am pulling up.
I've always left the elevators neutral until about 10 knots before rotation speed, and then starting to apply back pressure until it comes light, and then pulling off the nose wheel to rotate. But on this time, I tried something different where I actually applied pressure much farther back in the takeoff roll and just let the nose get light and let it kind of take itself off when it was ready to fly. And it was pretty gentle, and I think I might experiment with that technique more in the future.
Wired to Drive Experimental Cozy, November 797 Delta Lima departing to the southwest.
Knowing that Toronto can't pick me up until I get some altitude, I give it some time and get some altitude before I even attempt trying to call up Toronto Center to get flight following.
Toronto Center, November 797 Delta Lima.
Can they not hear me, or are they just busy? I have to sit and wait and wonder.
797 Lima, go ahead.
797 Delta Lima is just off of Wyerton, climbing 4,900 or 8,500 en route to Port Huron. Would like flight following, please.
Seven 797 Delta Lima, roger. Okay, sir, check that. Due to staffing today, we are not offering flight following VFR aircraft.
Okay, but I definitely need to have it because I need a squawk code to cross the border.
Okay, sure. I'll give you the code is 4345. Well, you can squawk that. It will be in the system, but you are cleared to en route frequencies.
4345, 7 Delta Lima, thank you.
Roger.
There's Canadian Nav Canada for you. There's the privatization of ATC, and that's what you get. No services.
And of course, I'll receive a bill from Nav Canada for not being serviced.
So I just wanted to express how appreciative and grateful I am that I get to do this. I have my own airplane. I can just go places, and it is a time machine that lets me get places where otherwise would be out of reach. A perfect example is one of the main reasons I actually bought this airplane is my family, my entire family lives in Canada. I live in the United States. I just spent a weekend up with my parents at their cottage in Sable Beach. My parents are definitely getting older, so it's important that I spend time with them. And getting to Sable Beach is a 7.5-hour drive. So doing that just for a weekend is really not practical. So I have to book off time from work, and then I have to, hopefully the weather's going to be good. But in this case, I didn't have this planned at all. I looked at the weather and thought, hey, this looks like good weather. I wonder if my parents are up at the cottage. I give them a call. Yep, they are. Hey, I'm going to come up. Okay, great. So I hop in the plane Friday afternoon. Hour and a half later, I'm at the cottage. So instead of a 7.5-hour flight, it's an hour-and-a-half flight for me, and it lets me go and see my parents anytime I like. And that's just one example of why I love this airplane. I just wanted to get across that, yes, so you see my videos here, and I'm going places, and And it's all about going and seeing things and visiting people and so on, and that's what you see. You obviously don't see all the work and the maintenance and the studying and everything behind the scenes. You just get to see the end result. But I just want to let you know that the end result is worth it. If you are thinking about getting your pilot's license, if you're thinking about building an airplane, it's totally worth it. Don't give up. Work hard. Do what it takes. Save up. Get that extra job. Do what you need to do in order to make it happen, because it is so totally worth it. Yes, it gives you the freedom to go places, but it brings you into a whole new world of amazing people. And yes, my airplane's turning itself. The autopilot just hit a waypoint. You get to meet,
day from T138, level 7000.
you get to meet lots of new people, and the people in aviation are generally really good people. And I know there's a lot of people watching my channel who are not pilots, or are thinking about becoming a pilot, or are thinking about building an airplane, or are building a cozy. And all of you people out there that are watching these videos, I just want to say, keep going, keep working. It was a hell of a lot of work for me to get to where I am today, but it's totally worth it. Don't give up. Keep working, keep going, keep building, keep studying, do what it takes, get to where I am, and then keep going. If it's your goal to fly the airlines, do it. All right, that's my speech that I wanted to get across for this flight. The rest of this is pretty boring. I'm just flying into Port Huron to clear customs and then home. Not much of a flight. It's pretty clear. We got a little bit of clouds out here. All right, back to the video.
I continued on until I got down to the area where I would be picked up by Selfridge Approach normally and handed off to them. So once I got down to that area, I called them up because they would be controlling the area for Port Huron where I'm going into next. And my radio gets really fuzzy on certain frequencies like this one. They hear me fine though.
Selfridge Approach, November 797 Delta Lima.
November 797 Delta Lima, Selfridge Approach. The Selfridge altimeter 3020, say position and intentions.
3020, 7 Delta Lima is 36 northeast of St. Clair County, inbound to St. Clair County, currently squawking 4345, 8,500.
November 7 Delta Lima, ident.
7 Delta Lima, ident.
November 7 Delta Lima, radar contact 20 miles east of Sarnia Airport. Maintain VFR and let me know when you have the weather at St. Clair County.
7 Delta Lima has the weather.
Roger. November 7 Delta Lima, were you switched from Toronto Center or were you terminated by then?
Definitely, we were terminated by them. They were having staffing issues.
Oh, okay. November 7 Delta Lima, state type aircraft.
7 Delta Lima is a cozy experimental. That's Charlie Oscar Zulu Yankee.
Roger.
I could see the airport dead ahead through the haze, partly because it was straight ahead, but partly because I've been here before.
Approach 797 Delta Lima has field insight.
November 7 Delta Lima, radar service terminated. Remain on your current squawk until landing and frequency change approved. Have a good night.
Thanks for your help. 7 Delta Lima, we're the main on squawk. That's frequency change approved. Have a good night. St. Clair County traffic, experimental cozy 797 Delta Lima, 10 miles to the northeast inbound landing, 10 St. Clair. St. Clair County traffic, experimental cozy 797 Delta Lima is 5 to the northeast, would be joining the left downwind for 10 St. Clair County. St. Clair County traffic, experimental cozy 797 Delta Lima, left downwind 10 St. Clair County. St. Clair County traffic, experimental cozy 797 Delta Lima, turning left base, runway 10, full stop, St. Clair County.
Speed brake coming down. Speed brake is down.
St. Clair County is a nice little airport. Not a lot of traffic. They have multiple runways, so it doesn't matter what the wind's doing. They usually have something that's reasonably closely aligned. And you can pull into customs and you're not going to get billed landing fees or any other fees by the airport.
St. Clair County traffic, experimental cozy 797 Delta Lima, turning final, 10 full stop, St. Clair County.
500.
The one thing that going in here is different for when you clear customs from anywhere else I've been, is that they make you come inside and fill out a form and sign a book and do a bunch of procedures that all the other ports of entry never do. Usually they just look at your passport, say, have you got anything to declare, send you on your way, where this place you actually have to go inside and do some paperwork. However, they did tell me that is probably going to be ending, that they have heard that they will be getting rid of that process, so it will probably be a little bit faster in the future.
Speed is perfect, everything's perfect, gear is down.
If you land on 10 at St. Clair County, all you have to do is taxi all the way down to the end of the runway and then get off there, and that's exactly where customs is, so it makes it easy to find. So I taxied right up to the customs building, shut down, and they came out to meet me. Believe it or not, only 14% of the people that watch my videos are actually subscribed to my channel. So why don't you do it now? If you're not already subscribed, click subscribe now. It really helps me out, and that helps me produce more and better videos. Thanks! And yes, the technical gremlins continue as my camera decided to not record the first 5 minutes of this flight, so by the time you see me here, I'm already well into my climb. I'm almost at cruising altitude. I really got to figure out what's going on with my gear.
November 7 Delta Lima, contact Detroit approach 134.3. Good day.
134.3, 7 Delta Lima, good day.
Like I said, the side tone on certain frequencies when I transmit is really scratchy, but at the other end, they hear me perfectly clear, and it only happens on certain frequencies. You can hear when I call Detroit, it's fine.
And good evening, Detroit, November 797 Delta Lima, 7,400 for 8,500.
Number 797 Delta Lima, Detroit approach, maintain VFR Detroit altimeter 3020.
3020, 7 Delta Lima.
And this little lake that I'm going across is probably the longest stretch of water that I go over. I'm still within gliding distance, that's why I get up so high. And then I head out across Lake Erie, doing the same thing, hopping from island to island for gliding distance.
Number 7 Delta Lima, contact Cleveland approach 126.35.
2635 for 7 Delta Lima, good day. Cleveland approach, November 797 Delta Lima, 8,500.
797 Delta Lima, Cleveland approach, maintain altimeter 3021.
3021, 7 Delta Lima. And just for your information, we're going to go across Sandusky, then direct.
Sorry, I got 2 talking at 1. 7 Delta Lima, say again.
7 Delta Lima is going to cross Sandusky and then direct.
7 Delta Lima, roger.
Always a good idea to tell them what you're doing so when they see the turn, they're expecting it. I saw this beautiful sunset, and then little specks down on the lake, you could see were actually container ships sailing across. So here I am flying across Lake Erie. The blue circle is my gliding distance ring, so you can see that I can actually make land if need be.
7 Delta Lima, when able, start your VFR descent to 3,500.
7 Delta Lima already started.
797 Delta Lima, clear through Bravo airspace, contact Cleveland approach 125.35.
2535 and clear through the Bravo. Thanks for your help, 7 Delta Lima. Cleveland approach, November 797 Delta Lima, 6,600 for 3,500.
797 Delta Lima, Cleveland approach, Cleveland altimeter 3021.
3021, 7 Delta Lima.
For 797 Delta Lima, turn right heading 130, vector for Cleveland arrival.
130, 7 Delta Lima.
7 Delta Lima, turn right heading 140.
140, 7 Delta Lima.
He's keeping me out of the way out of some arrivals going into Cleveland Hopkins Airport.
7 Delta Lima has the field. We'll go ahead and cancel.
7 Delta Lima, radar service terminated. Spot 12 and the pre-tank crew. Good day.
VFR, thanks for your help. Medina traffic experimental cozy 797 Delta Lima is 10 to the west. Will be inbound, crossing over the field to join the left downwind runway 9er, Medina.
You'd think that I'm close to my home airport, things are going to go easy, it's a home run from here, but no, this is where things actually got interesting on this trip because there is traffic and we are close.
Medina Erie traffic is Skyline 808 Mike X-rays, about 7.5 southwest, descending through 3,500, Medina County.
So we are about the same distance away. He's coming from the south, I'm coming from the west, and we are at the same altitude, converging at the same airport.
Medina County traffic, Skyline 808 Mike X-rays, 4.5 south, 3,200. Look for that traffic coming in from the west, Medina.
I see him on the ADSB, and I realize I'm faster than him, and he's a little bit closer. I'm going to run up on him, so I need to do something to make sure that doesn't happen.
Medina County traffic, November 797 Delta Lima is 5 miles to the west, down through 2,700. I do not have the other traffic. I see you on ADSB, but I'll slow down and let you get in here before I do.
Roger that, 8 Mike X-rays, 3.5 south. I'm going to cross over midfield of runway 9 for left downwind number 9 at Medina County full stop.
All right, so I slowed down, but I realized that's not going to be enough. I'm going to run up on this guy, and we're going to trying to land at the same time. So I'm going to have to do something else other than just slow down.
All right, 7 Delta Lima has your traffic. I'm actually in closer than you, so I'm going to do a right 360 and let you in. I think I'm a little bit faster than you.
I don't have you.
That's the sound of my autopilot turning off so that I can do a right 360 by hand.
And 8 Mike X-rays over midfield for left downwind, runway 9, Medina County.
Now we're fine. He's over the airport. I'm still about 2 miles to the west.
Traffic experimental Cozy 797 Delta Lima, left downwind, runway 9 or full stop, Medina. Traffic 707 Delta Lima, left base, runway 9 or Medina, full stop.
Such a beautiful, clear night. It's an actual shame to land the airplane. I should really have just gone flying some more.
Speed breakdown.
However, I do have some work to do on the plane. I'm planning to do an oil change once I land, so I need time to do that.
And Medina traffic experimental Cozy 797 Delta Lima, final, runway 9 or full stop.
Always love landing with the sun behind you because everything is so clear and easy to see.
500.
It always feels to me like I'm just crawling along here and I'm going to fall out of the sky. But I'm doing 85 knots. It's just that after flying at 165 for an hour and a half, this comparatively feels really slow. And I could speed it up down here, but if I carry more speed in final here, I'll just float all the way down the runway and it'll never land. So I have to actually bring the speed back and just hold it back. I'm actually on short final here. I'll bring it back to about 80, and then over the numbers I'll bring it hopefully around 75, and then just let that bleed off until it touches down. Hey, that was not too bad. Nice and gentle. I could see that 182 that landed in front of me, and he was taxiing towards the other runway, so I think he might have been a little bit lost. I know he was transient traffic, so I talked to him on the radio.
Traffic experimental Cozy 797 Delta Lima, clear of runway 9 or Medina.
Medina County, 8 Mike X-rays got back taxi on 19.
Yep, he missed the taxiway, so he's back taxiing on the north-south runway.
That experimental at Medina, are you a local here?
Affirmative.
Pardon me?
Yeah, are you going for fuel?
Well, yeah, eventually, but I'm going to be in and out of here for the next week. Where's the best place for me?
Transient parking, you see with the yellow RV over on the left there, that's all the transient parking there.
Do they charge you for that?
I don't think so.
Oh, good. I'm a cheapskate. Great. I appreciate it. Thanks.
Park over by the yellow RV because there's a light flight helicopter that goes in and out of there, so you want to stay as far away from that as you can.
I read that on the comments. Go ahead, I'll hold up for you.
I'm going to cross over to the fuel farm.
Appreciate the help. I figured you were a little faster than me. I just couldn't see you over there.
Yeah, it's a cross we have to bear.
I realized afterwards that was a Grumman Cheetah, not a RV, that yellow plane parked on the ramp there. But I didn't realize it at the time. I just glanced and thought it was an RV.
Traffic, 7 Delta Lima crossing 19.
So I taxied over, filled up with fuel, went back to my hangar, did some maintenance, changed the oil. A productive end to a non-productive and restful weekend spent on the beach, relaxing and just enjoying the nature and family. It's something that I love that my airplane allows me to do, and I love the process itself. I love the flying. I love the technicality of it. I love that I get to fly and see my family in a timely manner that I couldn't do otherwise practically if I had to drive. So the airplane is a time machine, but it's also a connection machine because it lets me go see my friends and family all across North America in a way that I could never do affordably or realistically. In any case, if you like this video, please click like. If you have any comments, questions, suggestions, leave them in the comments section below. And of course, please subscribe to the channel. It helps me so much when you do that. And if you select notifications on, you get notified every time I publish a new video. That's it for this one. Thanks for watching.